Dan's Golf World Show. Ton to cover this week, but most importantly, TikTok is back. We're scrolling like we used to be, and boy, does it feel good. Seb Straka's back in the winner's circle. We're going to take a look at that. Terrell Hatton throwing tantrums and winning trophies. Gotta love it. And Greg Norman, CEO of LIV Golf, or as we should say, former CEO of LIV Golf. We're going to be covering all of that right here on the Dan's Golf World Show. All right, boys. Are we back to scrolling or what?
We're back to scrolling.
TikTok is back. I don't know about you guys. It felt like it was gone for a month. Did you guys experience this? Because I sure did. It felt like it was gone for an eternity.
So Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was so rough.
Yeah, oh, dude, brutal. Crazy, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm scrolling on my normal apps, like, you know, your Instagram, the Red Note app now.
Oh, yeah, you did. You went to the Red Note?
I went to the Red Note.
Yeah, you did.
Is that like an AI thing?
But there was definitely a hole there where I'm like, what do I do? Because I have like my routine at home where when I go to start laying in my bed to go to sleep, I'm like,
hit the feed, see what the algorithms got for you.
And it wasn't there. And I was like kind of hurt a little bit, not gonna lie.
Rich, how'd you survive this this downtime?
Well, so I thought from day one that TikTok was never going to be banned.
Yeah, it was just talk. It was never going to actually happen. We'd never see the day.
This is it's politics, yada, yada. You can't tell me. I get China's collecting information, but they're collecting less information than Facebook and TikTok and X and all those other, everyone else is picking up.
Yeah, Rich, I agree with you because I feel like TikTok is one of the apps where if I say a word out loud, I don't see ads for it, like on Facebook or Instagram. You know, you say cat food and all of a sudden you got like whatever Friskus ads.
You're seeing cat food videos on your YouTube feed.
Yeah, like, for real, right? Yeah, we were going to talk about the dangerous apps out there. I agree with you.
Did you guys see any of the clips from like that court hearing with the creator of TikTok?
From like a while back, a few months back?
Where they were like asking all these Chinese questions and he's like, I'm Singaporean. Like I'm not a part of the Chinese.
Oh, Senator, I'm Singaporean. Yeah, they
and the one guy's like ask him, does TikTok access your home network?
Your home Wi-Fi?
Like, well,
yeah.
If you're on Wi-Fi in your phone, then yes. Like
he's like, I knew it.
Can it access everything else on the network? It's like, oh, it's just like it's just an app.
Craziest thing that they were talking about with TikTok when he was talking about, you know, what you're talking about, the Singapore guy, they were like talking about eye dilation because they have to use your eyes in order to do facial recognition for those different types of whatever.
Yeah, like the filters, like Snapchat filters. Everybody uses them.
They also use eye dilations apparently maybe for, if you see something you like, now they're going to throw that up on your For You page more because of that.
Here's the thing. Mark Zuckerberg keeps a sticker over the camera on his laptop. So apparently everybody's looking. And I don't know that he's referring to, preventing TikTok from seeing when he does that. Which app is Mark Zuckerberg hiding from? That's the one we need to take a little extra look at and see if they're from Singapore or not, okay?
Did you hear what he said? He's like, well, you're human, and when I was human, I mean, I am human.
Did you guys see that Canada also got hit with the ban? Because I think of the North American servers.
Dude, they caught a stray. Like a stray ban.
Collateral damage.
Dude.
It's funny. Did you see the European people that were posting? They're like, wait a second, the Americans are gone. We're not seeing any of their content. They're like, this is terrible. Bring them back. We need you back.
Dude, what was one of the most torturous moments was I was still getting notifications on my, from TikTok. It was saying like, so-and-so person commented on this video. And then I would click it and then I couldn't see it. It would say like that whole like no internet or offline or whatever. But that was like an extra layer of torture, getting TikTok notifications that I couldn't even go in and see and look at.
I texted you and I was like, what do you think about it? And I got radio silence, probably because I've texted you way too much in the last 3 days, but also I think you were
just
what's funny about Gary's text is Gary, if he has a thought he wants to text, he sends like 2 or 3 words, text, 3 words or more, text, 2 words, text, like 1 more word, text. It's like, dude, just like say, hey, how's it going? It doesn't have to be 4 texts.
Gary texts in Morse code.
And then you got to decipher it too.
You do, because sometimes like you'll be laying in bed and your phone's like, you're finally done for the night. You've set it down. which was easy, Saturday night because there was no TikTok. But usually, you hear like a little and you're like, oh, someone texted me. But I've put my phone down. I'm going to determine if I want to check that or not. But instead you get you look up, it's like one sentence total, like between all the I think someone's in the hospital, like my phone's going nuts.
Well, sometimes we go back and forth from like 1 o'clock in the morning till 4 a.m. But like just that night wasn't one of those nights.
He was sad. There was no more TikTok.
I will say I do love how many TikTok native people went over to Instagram and were instantly traumatized.
Oh yeah.
Dude, just like they're like, what is happening over here?
They're like, it's way meaner and way weirder over here.
Dude.
Why is this popping up in my feed?
Like my wife, Stacy, she asked me, she was like, so what are you doing? I'm like, I just watched a bunch of people get hit by a car. Like, I don't know what else moving over here on Instagram. Like, this is crazy.
And there's me following that page.
Yeah. Do you know what's even funnier, though?
Like 400 comments, 1 word each.
So there was a lot of people that deleted TikTok once it was banned.
Yeah.
And then when the servers came back alive and it was unbanned, it wasn't on the App Store anymore.
No, dude, you can't act that early. You got to keep the app.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on.
All these dumbasses that decided I'm gonna just delete this right away, and now it's back. Oh, where's the app?
Well, what's going on today? That's also awesome.
TikTok is still back.
Come on. Well, and who brought it back?
Oh, well, today's the inauguration day. It is the change of the leadership in our country.
Woo!
Let's
go!
What on earth is that?
That was, I don't know where you got that from.
What? An
It was like the world's
incredible.
smallest, biggest
I got
celebration.
you one,
ever.
too.
Wait, I get to do it?
Trust her, baby.
Oh, there you got reloadable bullets in there?
Next time Gary texts me. Dude, this is crazy. I need 700 of these.
Oh,
Wait, what's that one
God.
TikTok? He's like, I don't care what's in it. Give me 14 of them right now.
Yeah, don't tell me. I bought this at Walmart earlier. I was like, these are awesome.
All right, Gary, this is kind of fun. Wow. Thank
Finally
you.
brought something to the pod.
Oh.
Wow. All right. We got so much stuff to cover. I feel like golf news kind of went nuts this week. Touching on last weekend's PGA Tour event, Sepp Straka, out of nowhere, comes back and takes a win, his third PGA Tour win. Josh, you have some theories behind what might have, I don't know, gave him the extra boost.
Oh yeah.
What do you think did it for Sepp here this last weekend?
He got a haircut.
He sure did.
Yeah, he shaved his whole head bald.
Do we have a picture?
Let me see.
Come
No.
on.
No.
Well, hey guys, I want you to.
I'll put it
We'll
up
show
in the
one.
edit.
We'll show one.
All right,
I'll put it up in the edit.
I want everybody to imagine. Well, so Sepp Straka completely buzzed his head, completely bald. And, speaking of TikTok, it was the weirdest thing because I saw some clips from highlights from the tournament. And then like a minute later, like Alex Jones comes up on my feed and he looked exactly like Sepp Straka because he buzzed all his hair off too. And I was like, wait a second. Does Sepp Straka look like Alex Jones with his new haircut? I'm not saying I watched the guy. I'm saying he came up on my feed. I'm not saying I don't watch the guy. I'm just saying, listen, okay,
What-
leave me
what-
alone here.
What would you guys do? Because you guys are a little bit older than I am.
Thank you.
What would you guys do in his situation? Do you let it grow out until it's literally you're at the point of no return,
Just wear a
or
hat.
do you just shave it
Well,
all off?
I'm
like he did?
currently in that.
Yeah, Gary, why don't you go ahead and lead the conversation
Yeah,
on this
'cause
going balding topic?
Dan and Rich certainly don't know this as being Evans, because they got wonderful hair. but-
Unbelievable hair.
Unbelievable hair. But I got the back caves going. And then right here, if I look down, you might get a glare, but you don't because there's
Are you ever going to try that stuff? It was like in a can and you'd spray it and it looks like you have
oh
hair
my
there.
God. I know I'm gonna be like Maury from Goodfellas and just have somebody take my wig off and put it on the wall.
So tell us, what point is it like,
It's
okay.
not that bad.
No, I'm not saying yours is bad. I'm saying at what point do you say, okay, it's gone too far. I'm going full Sepp Straka and just Joe Roganing this whole thing off.
I think once you get to the point where this is back here, or this is
when it starts connecting,
like
when
when-
areas
yeah.
meet.
and when this is totally
Yeah.
gone, and I just look so mean without hair though.
I would say the most terrifying part that I would think would be the first time, because you don't know what your head shape is.
Oh, I've done it.
No.
I have a picture of it.
My grandpa, who passed away a few years ago,
Sorry to hear that.
I really didn't know him, but
Oh, then Gary's less sorry.
his haircut,
He's happy though.
his haircut, what he used to do, it was like what Gary said, nothing up top, but he had a long ponytail coming down the back.
No.
That's a power move. You know what? I say right now we take a vote on the pod. If Gary's hair goes any more bald, should he grow it out in the back? I'm going yes.
I'm going yes.
We got Josh. We got, Rich. Are you in on that?
Wait. Are you talking about like growing it long in the back?
Yeah, while he's balding
it
up
is
top.
long.
No. Real ponytail.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, up down to your
Yes.
ass.
Like a braided little rat tail in the back.
Moving on.
I will say it was fun seeing Sepp Straka back in the winner's circle, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Take you guys down a little trip down memory lane here. In my years of attempting to cover golf news and participate in golf tournaments, one of the very first tournaments I was given full media access for Dan's Golf World was the John Deere Classic. And I actually saved my desk nameplate here. It's on the front of my desk. Sepp Straka had won that weekend. And so I don't know, there's something about it. I just have this like very warm, fuzzy feeling whenever I see Sepp Straka playing well.
Nostalgia, right?
It does. It hits deep because it was just such an important moment in my golf career to have like gotten my very first media pass. And if you look back here, you can see I now have like a mountain of them. But it was a very cool time. And I don't know. So seeing Sepp Straka back in the winner's circle reminded me of a very cool point in time in my golf coverage career. Because he had won his second win at the John Deere Classic, and I was there. And it was a cool moment. He was like walking down on his way down to the trophy ceremony. This was my first time getting to like stand on the green for a trophy ceremony. The whole time, even though I have the credential, I'm supposed to be there, I just kept waiting to be kicked out. I was like, someone's going to find out I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I don't know. Like, this is like, usually like I'm like sneaking around by the ropes and like.
And what was really cool,
camera.
like I don't mind glazing, simping, as you kids call it nowadays. But I remember Dan, like a year prior, was like, I want to get paid to watch golf, and like in my head, I was like, oh, I didn't even think you could do that. And then like a year later, bada boom.
Did you say glazing simping?
Yeah.
It's just glazing.
Yeah. I
Simping
don't want to be a part of your nonsense generation.
Simping is
with your
like
non-glowing beards,
Skibbity toilet,
your
Ohio
nonsense.
Riz. Anyway, Sepp Straka, congratulations to Sepp. And there was a moment he was walking down, like I said, towards the green to accept his like giant check that he's going to throw in the back of his car like Happy Gilmore. And I was like, Sepp. He's like, yeah. I was like, congratulations, man. He was like, thanks. So fun.
You didn't ask him a weird question?
No. I was terrified. I'm like, someone's going to find out I said congratulations and I'm going to get kicked out.
Fleetwood.
Oh, dude. Yeah, good for Sepp. But there was some other chaos going on over the weekend at this tournament. Did you guys hear about William Mao's octuple bogey?
That was insane.
I watched that on TikTok
So
before it went
8
down.
over?
Is octuple 8? Yeah, take a look at this here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was brutal. So this bunker here is the I don't know, this like sort of a legendary deep bunker up a crazy high wall. They even did a thing on like Golf Channel, like showing how do you hit out of it, and they're like, yeah, but the pros know how to do it.
Of course, this guy didn't.
William Mao struggled so hard. And what I felt bad about was, he ends up in the bunker, he hits it again and like blades it over the bunker to the other side into the long grass, hits from there, goes back over to the original bunker, hits it again, stays in the bunker, hits it again, stays in the bunker, is determined to get out of this bunker, blades it back over to the other side, and proceeds to then hit it back into the same bunker and says, you know what? I'm not going to end up on either of these two sides, so I'm going to hit back up into the fairway. I'm not even going to aim for the pin. So he hits shot number 9, not even towards the green, back up onto the fairway, and he's going to just kind of chip one right up there, sends it long, back over to the same long grassy side, then up back onto the green long, over, close, finally.
He's still 3 under of Kevin Nas, though.
Yeah, it just somehow looked more painful because these areas are so relatably torturous looking.
Little treacherous action going down.
Yeah, and boy, did it eat him alive. But here's what I will say, is the dude was in such high spirits during like the post round interview
Nice.
that I don't know. I was like, you know what? I commend this guy for maintaining his
What's your worst
confidence
on a hole?
Here's the thing. I don't know that I've ever continued a hole.
Where you like
Yeah,
messed
where
up
it's just like,
that?
yeah, I'm done. I'm out.
I've
Like,
gotten 2 10s before.
I,
Not in the same round, but on the same hole, different times. And so the guy was like, I've never seen somebody get a 10-1, so congratulations. Is like, thank you. And then I was also like, you know,
That's awesome.
you basically were like really cool about it. And I was like, well, there's no reason to get mad. I'm still golfing.
The first time I saw the clip of the disaster on the 16th hole, I thought that Josh somehow got on the PGA Tour. I was also 12 beers deep and didn't see the name of the person who shot it. And Josh is a lefty. You can say that I was that messed up, right? But anyways, this guy lost to a 17-year-old, so the guy was put into a lose-lose situation.
wow.
There's nothing wrong with 17-year-old because I had one kill me the other day. He shot 61.
I am offended.
Bye.
This guy?
This guy.
You're you're taking Gizmo stuff personally today.
Because
I
he
see.
got such a good beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought I was playing.
I will say, Josh, do you feel that was sort of I don't know, something relatable, something you could have done? Do you feel like
I could definitely do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah? Would you ride it out? Would you keep going, or are you picking the ball up?
You're going to have to ride it out when I play you one-handed. I'm going to give you 22 is going to be the worst shot of your one hole.
Okay, you know what? We do golf challenges every week, and they'd sort of evaporate into
Oblivion.
whatever. But Gary's revisiting this golf challenge from last week,
it
so
will
it's starting to
happen.
solidify that a little bit.
We
But
could do it at the simulator, too.
Rich, now you tell me you're on TV, you're William Mao, and you're stepping up to take your 13th stroke on the hole. Are you smiling? Do you have composure? Are you okay? Are you healthy? Are you wealthy? Like, where are you at right now with that?
I mean, at that point, the 13th shot wasn't that bad because like it was just a shorter putt.
Yeah.
Right? That was finally put it in. For me, what's like killing me is the 9th and 10th shot. Like,
Oh,
like
we're not
when
even
I-
on the
when I-
green.
To miss the green from 20
when I
yards.
committed to not even shooting for the green and putting it back on the fairway, I'm like, okay, plans made. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Then I go over to the fairway and I go to chip it on the green and I put it right back in that same rough again.
Oh.
And I'm just like, like that's where I probably lose it. Like,
And he
pick up my
almost-
ball and go home.
And on the 11th, he almost put it off the green too.
I'm telling you, like anything. Like, let's say I don't care if I'm like making dinner. If I'm trying to make spaghetti or something, and it's just going this horrendous, like I'm quitting. We're going out to eat tonight. Like whatever it is. If any activity in life that just keeps going this horribly wrong, I don't know that I could persevere through it.
Are we sure that it was what we thought it was? Because, I mean, like, he's in the... There's this a par 5, and he was on almost in 2, and then he got 8 over a par 5 because he got 13? Or is
Let's
this-
see here.
Yeah, it was a par 5.
par
Oh,
5.
That makes sense then. Okay. Well, that makes it worse.
He's there in 2. He's
and
just
now
off
you
the
just-
green,
Phew.
chipping on for eagle.
Well, and he's walking in on that whole 6 under.
Oh,
Yeah.
He missed the cut
That's
by
the
9
worst.
strokes.
Like
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
devastating. And he ends up missing the whole shot. He misses the cut by 9 shots.
Which is crazy.
This
Like
hole.
on that hole, this entire hole was like, you've made the weekend, you know,
Yep.
just continuing on your young career here on the PGA Tour to, here's what I will say though. He probably has made more news, more headlines, and more waves
Sure.
than by just taking like a T28 finish or something, you know, that he would have done had he made the cut.
Kind of like that negative
Did you guys
press.
actually watch the video or watch it happen? Or
I'm going
I
to.
saw it on Twitter.
Same thing. Like I saw probably 7 or 8 different channels all shared on Instagram where and again, I think I watched all
when
of them.
I was scrolling and it came up on my feed, excuse me, I didn't know. It was like, all right, just another golfer making a shot or whatever. Oh, he's hitting out of the bunker. So like, I didn't think anything of it. And then he hits it over into the rough, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And then he hits it back into the bunker. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I just kept watching it.
Did
I
you
was
start
just,
praying
like,
for
in
the poor
horror
guy?
watching his slide.
I could just imagine like his caddy, like, you know, The 12th putt doesn't go in. The 13th putt finally goes in. And the caddy's just like, yeah, we're done. Finally.
Hey, what would you?
No, he was probably like,
Right.
I was hoping the confetti would
Go
come out the
my
other
payday.
side.
What would you guys do as a caddy in
I'm out
that
of bullets.
situation?
I would just be like, calm down after I'm like, let's not make anything worse than a 7. Once you're like over here. Or no. Once you're at 5 strokes, you got to be like, all right, dude, we got to chill. Just get on the green and do whatever you got to do because we don't want this to continue.
Yeah, but at what point is he like, what do you think I'm trying to do?
I get
Like
that.
your words mean 0.
Yeah,
like you
but,
don't
like-
think you're like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna blade one over, blade one back, stay in the bunker for. Oh wait, the caddy said I should get on the green. I'll do that instead.
Going
Thank you.
to add an extra oomph of like
Okay.
who that person is.
Sorry.
Though. No, you're good.
Continue.
Well, like if it's you, like, and if I just say like,
Yeah, go home.
Yeah, like,
go
yeah.
bowling with
and then-
Josh.
yeah, give up, be better. But like instantly, I feel like you would be like, okay, I'm calm again, and like whatever, and I'm just gonna hit. But like if you let this guy just like self implode and
Yeah.
you don't say anything, that's worse. And I don't know if he did say anything. Did you guys see that?
No, he looked pretty calm after. I mean, of course,
Calm for not getting paid now.
but
this
here's
weekend.
the thing, though. That 4th and 5th shot, those were like just misses.
Yeah, they would just like were almost making it up on the green and then rolls right back down.
Because that bunker is so deep, it's like you have to flop it.
Well, yeah, I mean it's probably like a 15-foot high wall, like
Yeah.
easily you're hitting up on, and then you've got this slippery green with danger on the other side. But I think that's the point of the hole. Like that's why it was featured on Golf Channel, because it is that treacherous, and we ultimately got to witness the sort of worst case scenario of that entire discussion.
And like the quote says, excuse me for swearing, but cute gets fucked. So stop being
yeah.
cute. Just get it. Just do what you need to do.
And as a caddy, do you say that?
Yeah.
Does that help?
I would
what,
think so.
what was the term?
Because like if people try to get too cute with shots and be too perfect and not just hit the green, it like if a cute girl, like every guy probably wants to have relations, so cute gets fucked. So don't get cute. Just do what you need to do.
I was gonna say a joke about that, but you just knocked it right out the park.
What about this Blades Brown?
Oh, dude.
Dude, Blades, what a cool name. by the
What a
way.
name.
Yeah, like
Love the kid.
listen, his parents could have named him Cavity Backs. You know what I mean? His parents could have named him
Chunk.
Tour Distance, but they went with Blades because they knew his golf potential at his birth.
Who's this? He looks like Justin Rose a lot.
He's like, you know,
But Blades.
remember when we found out like the last 100 presidents were all related? I know there hasn't been 100 presidents, you know. Maybe that's what it is. All tour players are actually related. They come from like a bloodline of golfers, and it all stems from like Justin Rose's heritage. Who knows?
But I hope he does good. I love the name. Actually, like, I mean, that's just the coolest name in the world.
It kind of is. Do you think it's his real name, or do you think it's like Tiger is actually not Tiger?
I think that's his real name.
The birth certificate name.
I think so, yeah.
I love how Tigers, when you got my red flag in like, you know, the world is I sit there and I make fun of people that make fun of Tiger online, and I, you know, what do you call it? Defend Tiger. And
How many hours a week do you think?
like in my lifetime, there's probably been like a collective 2 hours completely. But like,
You're quick. You read it, fire back, you're gone.
I got my go-tos. Like how many?
Don't even put a ton of thought into it.
Nah,
just-
how many millions of dollars have you donated to charity? Oh, none. He's a has-been. You were never was. You know, just shut up.
Easy ones.
You know,
almost
he-
copy and paste.
Yeah, you cheated. He cheated on his wife. Well, I'm guaranteeing you golf with somebody that did
You know
that.
what, Gary? I don't know. Maybe this is like a separate side video, but I'd love to spend some time doing that with you. Where together we're going to go on and defend Tiger Woods.
I
I
just-
want to do a
What
few.
was my point? I
just-
forgot. Go ahead.
There's a cool story about his name.
Okay.
Oh.
So his first name is the maiden name of his mom,
Okay.
Oh,
Rhonda Blades Brown.
cool.
So like if you put the two together.
Rhonda Blades.
So that's his actual name.
You know, like sometimes when parents like separate and sometimes kids like they'll retake the mom's last name. He would have been like Blades if, you know, who knows?
But my point
Just
about
kinda
Tiger
crazy.
was when people don't like him, they call him Eldrick on the comments a lot. To go to Tiger to Eldrick, I mean that is quite the difference.
It is.
Moving
So
on.
how did Tiger get it? I didn't know Tiger's name wasn't Tiger.
So Tiger's
So-
name is Eldrick Woods, and Tiger was
What's his middle name?
I don't know.
Oh, Josh.
And
Nice.
you know, Tiger's dad was a Green Beret back in the day, and his best friend was nicknamed Tiger. So then, you know, his best friend died, I believe, in Vietnam, and then he gave Tiger that nickname.
His middle name's Taunt.
Could you spell that?
T-O-N-T.
Oh God, I'm sorry for laughing at that, but my God,
Eldrick Taunt
Woods.
Don't you
Tiger.
dare laugh at that. How much money have you donated to charity?
25,000, but not my own. I raised it.
So I was just practicing for when we do
It's
Tiger
empty.
defense comments.
It's empty.
Click.
click, 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 click.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. I don't have much else for.
He broke a record.
He did. What do you got
Yeah.
here?
He's got the lowest round in PGA Tour history under the age of 18.
Wow, what was it?
64.
Wow,
Wow.
It was 65 before.
that's incredible.
Who had the record previously?
It says Justin Thomas in 2009, Tony Finau in 2007, and then Ty Tyron in 2001.
Oh my God, I forgot that kid. How's that kid doing?
He's doing good.
trying.
Yeah, I know he's pursuing his Etsy store and other things.
He's not
I don't know.
not gonna
He
work
doesn't-
here anymore.
not gonna work here anymore. Though that's interesting. Good for him. Good for you, Blades. Like when you break a record like that, do you get anything? Is there like a trophy, a plaque? Does Jay Monahan give you a call? Maybe shoot you a text?
He gets Josh to call it out. That's his reward.
You know what? This is it. This is his reward. He gets just absolutely recognized and blown up here on the DansGolfWorld
It's
Show.
the peak of pro golf.
This is it. That's when you know you've made it. Did you see somebody commented on that Bob Does Sports impersonation, whatever video we put up?
Oh,
And someone goes, "Hey, Bob Does Sports, you made it." Like us covering him, he made it.
well, we appreciate you.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know. Another win this weekend that was kind of fun to watch. Not necessarily the win, but the
Our win?
process. Terrell Hatton. And my favorite thing, and I swear I could watch this unlimited. It is a true joy in my life to watch Terrell Hatton throw temper tantrums. I love it. I'm not making fun of the guy. He just does it. He knows he does it. We all know he does it. But I love this. He's got an iron smashing one of the tee markers at the Hero Desert Classic Dubai, whatever it's called.
And
There's like 5 names.
And the thing is, too, is that, like, I finally found the video because it was, like, took me forever. It took me a whole bunch of websites where I couldn't have access to watch the video and all that stuff. So I'm watching him do it. He taps it once
To see? Like, is it hollow?
and then goes at it.
So he wouldn't hurt himself.
And I love that it's such a conscious decision. It's one thing, like, if something happens and you just, like, throw it or do whatever, and you're like, oh, oops,
That's like Dexter premeditated murder.
yeah. Like, no, I want to see if my Xbox controller can actually go through this wall before I throw it at this wall.
He looks like Dan Blazerian.
Tap
in
tap
this
tap tap
picture.
tap.
Yeah.
Wing.
Dude, so he just absolutely annihilates this tee marker and then proceeds to win the weekend. So maybe
Did
it
he
helps.
get fined for that?
Yeah, he's getting fined.
Somebody asked him, they said, this was at a press conference I was sitting in, they're like, in your entire career, how much have you been fined for swearing on course and all the stuff you've done? And he sat there and thought, he goes, it's probably far less than you think. And the guy he was like, go ahead and take a guess. And the reporter was like, I don't know, 100,000. He was like, way less.
Probably like
50,000, way less. Whatever. He goes, I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely under 10.
No way.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Terrell Hatton said in the press conference.
How many free chances does the guy get?
Or they're like, hey, that's gonna run you like $78. You know, like it's just some like ridiculous amount of money. I don't know. But again, I can watch.
Got to
him
pay
throw
$100
tantrums.
to replace the T cover, like or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's all right.
And-
Here,
Not
$100
even
for
that
those.
that thing's probably getting thrown away.
Immediately, like nobody's saving those. I don't know, Terrell Hatton. What I thought was interesting though, apparently his play was impressive enough to get Rory McIlroy to speak up.
Rory.
You know, as we know in the past, Rory was, I don't know, pretty vocal about how he thought, his views on the PGA Tour players playing or the PGA Tour's players who left for LIV Golf, them playing on the Ryder Cup. And guys like Ian Poulter, who had played for years and years on the Ryder Cup, made a lot of appearances. He's like, well, the choice he made is his. His bet is made. He knew what he was doing when he did it. And then now we fast forward, to this older, more mature Rory that 2 years later or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like, I think we should really consider making sure Terrell Hatton makes it on the Ryder Cup team. Yeah, you weren't so excited about making sure Ian Poulter was getting out there to the Ryder Cup. But you look and you realize that half your team is cooked because they're all over on LIV Golf, and you might need a few of those guys to grab yourself a win down there at Bethpage Black.
Ian Poulter.
Yeah.
Was he like
wacky pants?
Was he hated on the tour before LIV? Like what's his story? Like everyone like hates on him now.
Well, he was just a very like polarizing guy. He wore like the bright plaid pants. He had like spiked up hair. He'd have like the visor and the hair sticking out and sunglasses.
He also kind of, not single-handedly, but motivated and contributed such a amount to the Ryder Cup at Medina that it was unreal. And I heard like Jordan talk shit to him, and he just kept making putt after putt. And it went from 6 a.m. USA till like 4 p.m. ole, and you're just like, God damn it, we had this.
What do you think, Gary? What, in your opinion, that shifted from like the love for Ian Poulter to just people just like, good, screw him, I'm glad he's going to LIV. Like, hope he disappears forever. Like, what happened?
I think people are just jealous that guys that are older are being smarter or more smart to go to LIV to make all this money, and they think that they're sellouts and they're jealous, and that's all it is. Because Ian Poulter is a G, he's a great guy, great family man, and that's all it is. It's complete jealousy.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him on season 1 of Full Swing.
Great
you know what
episode.
I mean? It was a great episode. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? You
Him
know what
throwing
I mean?
that shit in the locker room was a little like, come on, chill out. I know that they probably told him to do that, but it's like having your 6-year-old daughter throw something in my head.
Yeah, but we do recall the very last story we just talked about was Terrell Hatton smashing a tee marker. So, like, are we allowed to throw tantrums or not?
Yeah, of course, but not maybe.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I
In
to
golf,
be
at
honest,
least.
it like kind of annoys me when I play with people who like throw the full tantrum.
No, dude. One, if you're gonna be good at golf, be good at every aspect of golf. It's a gentleman's sport. You try to make everybody feel as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
And which is the definition of a gentleman and lady. And it's like, have that mental grit to be a man, to not let your emotions take control of you. And also enunciate and articulate and think before you speak, like I should right now.
Josh, you have some friends who get a little out of control on the golf course.
Oh yeah, we get a little rowdy. I mean, I don't partake. Maybe once in a while, club throw, but not even a club throw. Like not even like a club throw. It's like when you're playing baseball and you hit a bomb and you like throw your bat, like one of those.
So it's like it's done in celebration.
No, but like that's the type of throw. It's not
like a fun mad.
Yeah, it's not like I'm throwing it at trees or throwing it in water or throwing it 100 yards.
Do you feel like you know, some of the friends, like they're getting more upset and throwing clubs or doing things? Do you feel like it sort of encourages you to do it a little more? Like you feel like you do it more around them than you do maybe other people?
I feel like
Yes.
it causes me not to do it.
Oh, good.
Oh, it makes you more conscious of how ridiculous it is.
Now your next step is tell them to calm down.
Because I mean, I grew up bowling, so like it's
69.
It could be potentially like a gentleman's sport, like golf. And when I was younger, like in high school, I was known for like hitting stuff, like ball returns and all that stuff. And I grew out of it, but like now I'm looking back and I see people do it. Like,
here's the thing, though.
It's the same thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Golf is expensive. Your equipment's expensive, and you also like. I feel like so many people are just so not used to being in the center of attention to where they are looking bad, and that's what makes them do that. And they're like trying to regain their confidence or something by showing them that it's.
So you almost feel like it. Regardless, even if you're in a foursome, there's only 3 people watching. It's still it's a lot of times that anger is done because your pride is hurt in front of these people.
That's 100%.
It's not like a genuine reaction to yourself, like, oh, I missed that club, whatever. It's more like I've embarrassed myself, and that angers me.
And good at golf,
Very
you'll
interesting.
be like, yes, thank you, I appreciate that.
Rich, I want to know here where you're at on this.
Well, so as far as I don't like playing, if people are throwing their clubs and doing all that kind of stuff, like I'm just like laughing my ass off because you're a moron. Like you just broke your club. Like
yeah,
it's
to
golf.
shoot 96, like
right
for no reason.
That's why I'm playing golf
to be
with,
mad.
right? We're hoping to break 100, and then now you just broke your club.
Speak for yourself over there, buddy.
But the funniest thing I've ever seen is I have a group of friends that if you're gonna be mad, fine, you can be mad, but you have to be left-handed mad.
Hang on one second. Josh, you look like you're struggling. Is everything okay on the technical side?
Everything is fine on the technical side. It's just my laptop's not charging.
Could you explain that? What do you mean on the lefty side? Like I can't see you, Rich?
If you're mad, you have to be mad on the lefty side. Explain that.
So that means I
All
have to
right,
be
so
mad?
yeah. So if you're going to be mad, you have to be mad at the left. So like, rather than taking your club and like throwing it or winging it or whatever, you have to throw it with your left.
Yeah,
Like,
so
if you're
it's,
going to chuck a
if
ball
you're
or
gonna do
something
it,
like that, you got to.
yeah. Where you take a
know.
golf ball and you're just like,
Yeah.
When you're ambidextrous,
Yeah.
though.
Well, then you don't
Okay, so
count.
then you win the game. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Oh my
Like,
God,
it's
I
just
made
funny.
it
For
a
the rest of us,
competition.
then
I'm
you're
so
throwing
sorry.
left. Like,
I put my glasses on.
Okay, Gary,
Now you can't
you
see me.
win.
Oh, you can't see me. The glasses.
Well, so Rich, how would you respond? Let's say, okay, quick scenario. You're playing a pro-am at a LIV Golf tournament, and you join up with Terrell Hatton's group. He's the pro. You're in the group of AMs. And let's say he's just like throwing a total tantrum. Do you give him a little more respect and stay quiet because he's the pro and we're sort of his guest in this group? Or is it still like,
Talking.
like,
so I'm probably quiet in the moment when he's doing it because there's a lot of people around.
yeah.
But as we're walking up to the next ball, I'm totally walking next to him and saying like, "You all right, bro? Like,
Yeah. You good?
something like doing all right? Like, you know,
got a little,
get that all out of there, or like, you know, something.
got a little upset back there. You need some
You know.
juice. Need like an apple juice,
Make you
maybe.
feel a little better now. You know, oh, I'm definitely making fun of it for sure.
He would deserve it.
He's like, "Hey, can I do that in the next tee box?" Like,
I don't know what it is though, because he's sort of like, he's so almost overboard with his reactions that I think it's so funny in the pro golf environment where these guys are like, and they're upset and they're like kind of hit the club on the ground. And he's over here like dropping F-bombs, slamming his club, breaking stuff, kicking sand, like just going banana sandwich. I'm like, I could
Banana
watch this
sandwich.
all day.
You know, and that like
does he do this often, or is
Oh,
this like a
yeah.
one-time thing?
No, he is known, like Terrell Hatton in his tantrums. I mean, dude, he gets so vulgar. I mean, he is just he lets loose,
Yeah,
and it's
he-
very fun.
wasn't it Jack that said like the mental game is 6 inches between your head? Like people that have like ego deaths, I think are better at golf.
The
Or, like,
game of golf is played in the 6 inches between your ears or something.
So like,
to
you know,
that
when you have
nature.
like a sports psychologist that like it's gonna like help you out and you like understand that ego's an illusion and you have like an ego death and those things don't interrupt you from swinging, it's better, I feel.
Maybe he needs that. Maybe he needs like an ayahuasca journey down in like,
Or
I don't
maybe
know,
that
South
makes it better
America.
because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I've punched a few cart steering wheels mad. So
you get
I
get upset about
I
stuff.
get mad.
You get upset.
Yeah, I know.
I feel
try
like
not
it's
to.
okay to get a little mad though.
I tell you what, I was, there was a point maybe a year or two ago, and Gary was keeping one of my wedges in his bag.
Oh
he was
my
playing
God.
it, and we were at Cog Hill hitting balls at the top tracer, and Gary hits some wedge shot, and it doesn't go well. And he literally just takes the club, snaps it over his knee, and whips it out into the driving range.
Like 10 feet, so I knew I could get it.
Yeah,
later.
like just whatever.
I know why you're kicking that cock.
I was just like, did you just snap my wedge? Like, it's one thing to break your own club, but you're using my clubs. And then I see this wedge snap, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you. Like, what are you?
And I'm like, no.
He's like, no, it wasn't your wedge. I'm
My
like,
my
"Oh."
buddies buy clubs from Goodwill for that reason.
Do they keep like a breaking club in the bag? Like, this isn't like a playing club. This is a breaking club.
They use it as a playing club, but
They're
then-
they're just breaking right from the set. They
yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got it at Goodwill. You know what? I'd break it
talk
too.
all this ethical stuff, but then that story.
Yeah, I know. And we were at the range. We were at Cog, and it wasn't my wedge, and it was kind of funny.
It was very funny.
Hey
It's
Dan,
fine.
I'll tell you something. Terrell Hatton isn't the only person from LIV that's trying to get on that European Ryder Cup team.
Who else would it be? John Rahm?
Yep.
I love John.
Do we have any updates on if he's going to be successful in that or not?
That is the
It does-
worst beer picture. Sorry, go ahead.
It does not say, all the things I checked did not say that he was in 100%, but he literally says, and I quote, let me get there, that
His beard almost goes up to his
Never
eyes.
saw his beard that bad. It's usually perfect.
it is, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I could tell you my plan is to be on that team at Bethpage.
Yeah.
Well, because the U.S. team made the announcement that it is our team will be the best players. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and whether they are, picks due to the organization or their captain's picks or however. But I think it was Keegan Bradley just said, he goes, I'm not playing any of these games. I just want the best players on the team. I mean, because honestly, listen, if you're going to be a captain, you want a win as a captain. And I would take the same approach. Like, regardless of how you feel about all these politics, like, I want to be able to select from the best eligible American players on the planet so I can have a win as Keegan Bradley with my mustache as a first-time captain of the Ryder Cup. But Europe has not made such like a clear declaration on the acceptance of LIV players. I, on one hand, hope they do. On the other hand, I would love to see just a guaranteed lock win for the U.S. and send Terrell Hatton and John Rahm home. Either way, they could sit out with Ian Poulter in his wacky pants.
Now,
like, it's all fine.
Do you think that it makes a difference if they're LIV guys or not LIV guys on that European team?
I don't think it makes any difference to the performance of the golf. Because at the end of the day, I think these guys all go so far back, and it's a solo sport. So they're so used to just getting out and putting your head down and grinding to a win that I can't imagine, you're on like day 2 playing like a 2-ball, 4-ball, whatever, and you're upset that some guy 3 holes over is on the wrong tour. I mean, to me, I would imagine that all goes away. And it's like, U.S., we want to win for the U.S. Europe, we want to win for Europe. And that's all that matters. The history, the legacy of the Ryder Cup. And to me, I think that's where Rory McIlroy starts speaking up again, because he's like, he said the Ryder Cup is one of the most important golf tournaments to him in his entire golf career. And to now be like, yep, but you know what? Hey, let's shoot our team in the foot because of tournament politics and just throw this whole thing out the window. No, he's like, hey, maybe we should get Terrell in here with his tantrums and make sure we get a win here at Bethpage.
That's probably got to be the hardest course. One of them.
Have you played there, Gary?
I've never even been to New York. I've played it on the virtual golf probably 1,000 times though.
Did you ever hear that interview with Kevin Kisner? And they're like, can you win on any course? He's like, no. He's like, I'm not going to win on Bethpage Black. And they're like, then why do you go? He's like,
it's awesome.
Because they pay pretty good for 20th spot too. Like, that's a great point. Like,
Plus
no,
awesome.
I know I'm not going to win. I'm just not going to come here and win. But 20th doesn't suck.
This is just set up for his game and stuff.
You don't have a Bethpage Black scorecard in there?
Yeah, I did kind of bring some cool.
Oh, I forgot this was over even here. Okay, Rich, you haven't seen this yet. So first of all, oh my God. Wow.
He's just making a mess of the set today.
Gary brought all of his scorecards for the last how long? 2.5 years. He brought all, there's another garbage bag coming. Oh my God. Okay, Gary, just reach in there, grab a random handful and maybe pull 1 or 2 out of it and hold it up. Just super random.
All right, so we got this one.
Okay, what is it? What golf course? Where are we at?
We got the University of Illinois with the blue and gold course.
Right away, do you remember this round?
Not this one.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know if you were like some sort of weird, savant after underneath all that other.
University of Illinois Golf is where I played 88 holes though in 9 hours because there's nobody out there and there's 2 courses. I had a cart and I was playing great.
88 holes in 9 hours is unbelievable. All right, what else you got here? Just hand me one too. I want to see here.
Okay.
Just
how many times have you played Illinois?
70. I used to live in Outer North.
So it's a bunch. So when you pull a card, like it makes sense
my God.
that you don't remember that.
Hey, I found one with my name on it.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
Gary, Val, and Dan.
We got Hilton Head National here.
Wonderful.
That was empty.
How many scorecards would you say are here, Gary? Give or take.
Over 390.
That's unbelievable.
And then I got
not quite 400.
And then I got
weirdly
all my
specific number too.
Top tracer.
Not 400, not 350. That's
check out this True North one. This is pretty good. No mulligans, nothing. 62 on the simulator.
Do you even have simulator
I have a ton of simulators.
Signed and everything. I love. It's official. You got to bring it into the scoring tent when you're done.
Shout out to Indoor Golf Links of America at Orland Park.
Gary just shooting a nice smooth 62 at Troon North.
Bandon Dunes 868.
Wow.
But I can't do this outside. If I shoot under 75, I'm ecstatic. If I shoot between 75 and 80, I'm like, okay, cool, that's me. And if I shoot in the 80s, I've been out for 3 days and I haven't slept and I suck.
I will tell you, one of the greatest things about indoor is 8-foot gimmies. That's pretty standard in all indoor leagues.
Yes.
8 foot is not a gimme for me.
Oh, God,
on the
no,
golf course.
no,
Like,
no.
no, like I could 3-putt from 8 feet easily.
Without like that 62 at Troon would probably have been like a 72 because I did play like Scottsdale courses. I played like I think I shot 71, not on the main course, but the other one.
Dude, where is Onion Creek?
Onion Creek is actually where Scotty Scheffler won his high school state championship in Texas and Austin, and it's a private country club that I got fortunate enough to make friends with the guys at Virtual Golf. They brought me.
Wow.
And I shot horrible that day.
71?
Oh no. I played
It's not terrible.
I played it 4 times actually, but the first day I shot like 84 or something.
Gary, and then also, would you give us a little background history? I see you brought this brand new, beautiful golf bag here. Where did you get that? Why don't you give us some background story here?
My favorite person to play golf with is obviously Dan, and besides my dad. And we had like a little 2-man top tracer. Well, actually, it was a 4-man that we won by ourselves. But it's from Cog Hill, and I won the raffle, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, Gary and I won a Top Tracer golf tournament over the weekend. I don't know how many groups were playing or how many people were involved.
13.
But none of them matter because they all were last compared to us. And then Gary won the sweet bag in the raffle. So good for you, Gary.
And it's funny because like the important scorecards are like perfect. Like I have my Medina ones in here from 12 years old, actually, 19 and 15 because I played them all the courses, like whatever.
You know, if I didn't know those were golf scorecards, if I look at it real quick, looks like a whole bunch of non-winner scratch-offs.
I know what you're talking about.
All right, so I have a question for you guys. As
All
far as putting goes, we're talking about 8-foot putt, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's play a little game with this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Where does everybody think on an 8-foot putt the average recreational golfer? So there's average recreational, high handicaps plus 20. We're gonna go a 10 to 18 handicap, 0 to 3, and then the pros.
Are we going like percentage of make?
They make it 5% of the time.
Yeah, percentage of make. You got an 8-footer. What's the percentage of time as an average recreational golfer they make an 8-footer?
Gary's going. You said 5% make chance.
Yeah,
I'm going 7.
I'm going like negative 200 for me. 8-footers. Might as well be 2
so
miles.
So it says, what's your number? Seriously. I mean, it's not a negative.
5,
they can't.
7, 8. Which I feel is high.
10.
Huh?
Oh, wow.
10 or less.
Okay.
10%.
Way to go.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
All right. How about a high handicap 20 plus?
2.
Negative infinity.
I say 5.
Just luck. It's like a hole in one for them.
Just
it's
ask
just like,
Josh.
oh my God, it went in
Wait.
somehow.
I could putt.
Wait a second. Wait. The recreational golfer
Yeah.
is not as good as a high handicap golfer 20.
The
The recreational golfer is hitting 30 or 40 plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
that's
you.
what I-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so
22%.
35.
I was gonna go like 18.
10 to 20 falls in that range.
Bingo. I win again, 2 points.
I'm going third next time.
All right. Mid handicappers, that's going to be a 10 to 18 handicap.
Go ahead, Gary.
I'm going third this time.
I know.
I'll
You
go- I'll
just
go-
said that, but I tried to tee you
I'll
back up
go
to
first. I'll say 31%.
20.
19.
So
No, 24.
a point for Dan and a point for Gary. It's 20 to 30%.
Yeah, but except for Gary's first answer was wrong.
I was 1 off.
All right. Scratch golfers, 0 to 3 handicap.
75.
28.
Gary?
Oh, I forgot we're talking. 30%.
Forgot about a podcast.
I started thinking about Onion Creek. 30%.
Onions.
Well, hey, actually, so 30 to 40% is where a 0
Okay.
to 3 handicap. All right. So now here, the PGA Tour, what's the average make rate for an 8-foot putt under tournament conditions?
85%.
I'd say 60.
No, 75.
40 to 50%.
So the make rate's about 50%.
Oh, God,
Nice.
Wow.
So what's amazing about this when you think about this, like
Yeah.
an 8-foot putt, I'm only making it 10 to 20% of the time,
Yeah.
you know, and that's okay. Like, because in my mind, I get mad and I want to, you know, take my putter and put it into the green, like, because I'm
An
so angry. But
8-footer's
it's like,
nice.
no, wait a second. Like,
Well, you know what's funny? There's so many times, like in golf, and maybe this is, you know, as I need to work with like a coach and a sports psychologist and all that, but I don't look at putts as going in. I look at a putt stopping close enough where someone can say that's good and I don't have to putt again.
I look at it both ways.
I don't. Like if I'm like standing over a 20-foot ball, I want to get it in the hula hoop.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
do.
it. Just stop right in there. Like in my mind, I'm not seeing like if I go one more blade of grass over, this thing's going to journey and go around that pebble and then it's going to fall in the cup. I'm just like, over there. Just stop in the neighborhood. Don't roll back off the other side. Don't William Mow me a 17 on this hole or whatever. That it's weird. And I think potentially, maybe like in my evolution of golf, I need to start like envisioning putts going in the hole, but I don't. I envision them not needing to be hit again. That's it.
I have a question for Gary.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't look at putts going in. What do you look at when you look at the hole? Are you looking to hit the back of the hole? And then what do you look at
There's
when
this
it comes
tempo,
to
energy.
undulation?
Okay, there's this tempo thing that I do. Sometimes I'm thinking about like directly in front of the ball because there's this line that I have to go over with my black mark on my putter and the speed of my hands. Because like the best piece of advice I've heard for putting for me, besides reading the green and making sure that your tempo is calm around, because then it will translate into your shot, which Tiger does, is if you're up on a putt and you take the ball and you throw it at the hole, that's the amount of velocity that you should bring your hands through the ball. So when I'm looking at the putt to go in, I'm looking at a dirt mark in the cup and being like, it hit that, and I already feel what it felt like to go in. I've already high-fived you. I've already pointed in or something, like whatever the vibe is. But then I step back and go, sometimes I just want to do what Dan says. But sometimes you're feeling the vibe and you just go for it because you know you're going to be within that hula hoop.
The worst thing is I use that same mindset over like a 4-footer.
Oh, no, don't do
Like
that.
just be close enough so I don't have to putt again.
How often have you done the Jordan Spieth where you've looked at the hole while you putted?
I've done it in practice maybe twice, and it actually went really well.
Yeah.
But the same thing like the claw grip and these other like things you can kind of change up in putting. I will take to the practice green and try out, and some of them I really like. But then I get on the golf course and I'm like, not a chance. Like there's no, like I didn't practice that enough.
Yeah.
Like hands going back to normal, like looking down at the ball,
And
squeezing the living hell out of my putter grip.
What's crazy is like with your question too, is like when Tiger Woods 07 came out and we're playing on Xbox, there's the ideal putt line. Like sometimes when it breaks off, I'm actually just putting to the break-off point because I know then it's going to just,
It's like a bumper.
Yeah. And then, but like walking around and actually seeing if it's undulated up or down is super helpful. And then especially if like somebody's putting with you and they have the same amount of distance, watch their hands and how they come through. And then that vibe is how you should do according to if that was good or not.
All right. You're standing over the ball, putters in hand. You've done all your homework. You have your line. Everything's set. But it's like that beat or two, like that moment before the club actually starts moving. Are you quieting everything? Are you going through a checklist? Are you reminding yourself of something? Are you just like picturing Tiger Woods doing fist bumps? Like what is happening right before the putter moves? In your head.
I'm thinking about my hands and I'm thinking about coming back on that line, and I have to continuously not look up. You have to putt and make sure that you finish your putt before you look up, and then you go like that, because so often I'm like this and then I'm like and then that causes like a little bounce off to the right, so you got to do that. So it is calming.
So you're like
It's
mentally envisioning a movement, like rehearsal, a mental rehearsal of a movement.
And then sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, dude, this is gonna suck.
Just don't William mouth
Then
it.
sometimes though I'm like, I can't wait to make this putt because I just feel it. And there's that back and forth, and you try to obtain that often, but it's impossible because there's times where your putting is just awful, which I have experienced a billion times.
Why does it happen? Like And it's some days it's just like the putter
It's a
fell into the terrible
collaboration
bag.
of,
But
like-
sometimes the driver does it. It's like
yeah.
today, just the driver decided to not be a working
When
device.
you find out it's 10 degrees and you break your brain,
yeah.
that's going back to something that you guys don't know what to talk about. But when putting, what were you saying though earlier?
I don't know. I'm just talking about why
Oh yeah,
different clubs sort of fall out of the
Well,
bag for no reason.
Who I'm playing with and the vibe, and then like there's this energy and the good vibes, and then that translates into your golf game. And then there's also like, am I being technical today, or am I feeling it, like the vibe, like the feel of my hands? Because sometimes I'm so technical with bringing it back a certain way and bringing it through, but then sometimes I'm just like, I have this touch where I just feel it. So it's a combination of, all that.
It's a lot, but it works. I
Yeah.
mean, look, check the scorecards, people. Check the scorecards.
So many.
Gary, do you have any of your scorecards that you have like awesome rounds that you have like framed or saved somewhere special, or are they just all in those garbage bags in your?
That's the special save spot is those garbage bags. I don't know.
Gary's going for another one.
Oh, that's the other.
It's more Onion Creek. Guys, we are approaching week 3 at TGL.
Nice.
Week 3
I'm so
of
And
pumped.
yours gets to
TGL.
go, you lucky son of a buck.
Not this week.
Not this week.
Not this week. No. But we got the NYGC making their second appearance. We got Ricky Fowler coming back, Matt Fitzpatrick coming back, but they are rotating in their fourth player, Mr. Cameron Young. So it's going to be our first time seeing him out there. I feel like Cameron Young, we see two sides. Sometimes he's super serious, leave me alone, I'm going to fight everybody. And then other times it's like, oh wait, the guy's like smiling. Like there's like someone in there who's not like a robot. So I'm absolutely looking forward to see what version of Cameron Young we get out there. And do we find out about a new version? Maybe the dude's like hilarious. Maybe the guy's got a ton of personality, or he's just going to be dialed and will not make eye contact with anybody. I don't know.
Who do you want to win, and who do you think is going to win?
Well, over on the Atlanta Drive side, we've got, of course, Justin Thomas, Billy Horschel, and Patrick Cantlay. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Heck,
I don't know why, but I feel like Justin Thomas was built for this. I don't know why. His energy, like we've seen him, in Ryder Cups and different team events. Like the dude has an energy. He's electric. I know his sort of partner in crime in a lot of these, Jordan Spieth, won't be there with him, but I still think that's a part of him. I think that's who he is. So I am really looking forward to this week's match to see which Justin Thomas we get, because
Plus,
the
he's
dude's
such a
funny.
bro. Yeah.
He's a bro. He totally is. He's on the list of guys, true story, that I would really, really enjoy to play a round of golf with. Like
Him, Tiger, and Freddie would be like a cool thing for me because they're all friends.
I think Tiger would be unbelievable, mind-blowing, the whole thing. I think at the end of the day, you would maybe have more fun with Justin Thomas. I'm not saying you pick him over Tiger. I'm just saying,
Which I wouldn't.
in terms of result or outcome, I'd probably pick Charlie.
I have a take. The one thing that TGL is missing.
Oh boy, cup holders.
No, team uniforms.
Um,
Like even though they got all their sponsors, because
it doesn't work that way, and they can't.
I don't
But
like
go,
it.
go into it,
Okay.
and then I'm going to completely tell you why it doesn't work.
okay, I'll compare it to
Yeah.
something else.
Sure.
PBA has a PBA league, and in retrospect, it's kind of the same thing. They have bowling, individual sport, golf,
Except for,
individual sport, team aspect.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like in terms of like fame and
No,
stardom.
oh
and all
yeah,
that.
no.
Okay. I got
So
you.
they all have team jerseys, but
Yeah.
they're all sponsored by different bowling ball companies, different shoe companies, just like these guys, and they just have different patches on them, kind of like how they have on there, but there's no team logo anywhere. So it's almost like you got to remember what color they are, what team color they are. or
Here's the
else-
question. If we look at all their sponsors, all their hats and shirts, which one of those companies gets to provide the shirt for all of them? Like, if they're all wearing Puma now?
Because
No,
all
no,
these
no.
shirts are different
You-
qualities too.
Usually, like the TGL will find a company that will make them, and that will be the brand.
I think that's something you might see in the future, kind of like you're seeing on a LIV Golf. Like LIV Golf was a lot more sort of like piecemeal together.
Yeah.
And then over time, it grew enough where they could get the attention of sponsors and start selling those sponsorship deals. For example, like Reebok, Bryson DeChambeau's deal, they are sponsoring his entire team. So
Yeah.
that deal was brokered via
It
Bryson
makes a
DeChambeau for
lot
the whole
of
team.
sense, though.
It does. But I think the issue they run into right now is it's like they all have these agreements. And if you look, like they'll be in, I was watching a Brooks Koepka Cleveland, Srixon Cleveland commercial, and he's still in his Nike gear. Even though the commercial has nothing to do with Nike, they can't put him in a Srixon hat because he is sold for the year in all appearances and televised events that I will wear this hat for X amount of millions of dollars for X amount of years. Same thing shirt, same thing chest, same thing pants and shoes. So I think the issue is right now they have existing agreements that require them to wear these brands and any appearance, golf related or not, or commercial, Brooks Koepka, you name it. So to me, I look at this and I just go, yeah, there was way too much red tape to untangle for season 1 of this. So the best they can do is take their sponsored brand and then wear like sort of a matching version of it to look similar.
So,
because there's probably between those 6 guys right there alone, a lot of money tied up into each one of those shirts they're wearing.
Yeah.
it's at least $100 million between them for their sponsorships.
Yeah, Billy Horschel alone.
What was your answer though? Because who's gonna win? Who do you want to win? Because I want Ricky.
Keep
I
in
love
mind,
Ricky.
we've been 0-2.
I got an interesting take on that.
Who about to
because-
screw?
What's that?
What's
Rich?
up, Rich?
So the NYGC, they got smoked the first time,
Yeah.
right? Like just absolutely destroyed. But they have the benefit of playing through once and now understanding how it goes, and
Yeah.
because it is a totally new different thing.
So
Where
this is
Atlanta
Atlanta's-
Drive
oh.
GC, they've seen them, right? But they
Yep.
haven't played yet.
Yep.
So I think you're going to have a 2-shot. My money, I'm going with NYGC because you got they don't want to lose again like that and just be embarrassed twice.
Right.
So they're going to have that on their chip on their shoulder there. And 2, they understand the heartbeat. They understand the 30 seconds. They understand that that's not going to be in their head this time.
Well-
Where Atlanta Drive is still trying to figure everything out.
And I know, Ricky Fowler had talked about, he had spent quite a few nights in there practicing, like outside of the organized practice events. He's just in there, so he was also at the media day. He's now played a week and now he's coming back again. I do feel like Ricky Fowler brings a lot of TGL arena, SoFi
Vibes.
Center experience. But at the same time, Billy Horschel was also there at the media day. But who I'm really excited to see is Patrick Cantlay, and to see if he can crowbar a smile on for at any moment of this thing.
Do you believe that, give it a couple years, do you think there's going to be guys that are just going to be strictly TGL players?
That's a good question.
It's so hard to look into that crystal ball because right now the only reason they are on the league is because they're so famous in pro golf. So would they be people who leave pro golf and do this full time, or would they be people who like long drive? They were never pro golfers. They're just really good at this one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It would have to be a season long, like the PGA Tour, though. It would
Yeah.
have to be.
I think it's just gonna. I think at the end of this season, does this thing continue building momentum? Does it sort of plateau at some point, or do people get bored of it after a certain amount of time? Which for me, highly obsessed with golf, almost as much as Gary's 700 scorecards. I don't see myself getting bored of it, but we'll kind of have to take a look at like sort of the grand populace of ESPN watchers. I hope it grows. I hope it's in more cities. But they had those great reviews or great viewership and ratings after the week 1, and they're like, we're gonna build one in Vegas and Chicago, and these things are going everywhere.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
So I mean, to me, it's like, well, if you're gonna have these things in other cities,
And then
is it
create
gonna
leagues.
be right like other sports where there's multiple teams playing throughout the course of the weekend? There's not like one football game all weekend. There's like, I think you guys would probably know better. There's probably multiple football games on in a weekend.
Yeah.
There are. Thank you. I didn't know factually, but you confirmed it for me.
What's
There's
funny
like 2
about
games
like
every 3
that
hours.
is like these scorecards, some of them have like 2 to 3 rounds on them. That goes into what he said, multiple football games. Come on. Moving on.
So there's a multiplying factor to this pile.
There's most of these are like 36 hole scorecards.
I see some tic-tac-toe on that one.
Oh, 100%. Me and Wes, after you're done.
Who?
Wes leads indoor golf. He's the manager. And every time I would get done with a round, he would sign the attest. And then we'd play tic-tac-toe because we were bored. Or I was bored.
What is that thing?
I don't know what the hell that was.
Moving
So
on.
I do have some numbers on. I do have
Rich,
some numbers
please.
on viewership
Thank
for week 2. They said that it actually had noticeably more viewers, and it actually had a 10% bump, about a 9% bump rise from the 2 weeks. They averaged 1 million viewers. Remember last week
Wow.
they were like in that 900, 920 range. So they actually averaged 1 million viewers, outpacing the NBA games on TNT, the Cavs versus Pacers, and the
Nice.
Nuggets Mavericks games.
Let's
So
also talk about the
Nice.
fact that
closing
it's
the door on
creating
basketball.
jobs.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily jobs like in the grass and lawn care industry, but, jobs in the plastic turf care industry.
And videos and marketing.
That's true. Very true.
And sponsors.
What's interesting is like, so what do we attribute that to? Was it the week 2? All right, people missed week 1. They heard good things. Now they're tuning in.
Tiger!
Is it? Yeah, right.
The Tiger effect?
Is it
everybody.
the Tiger effect.
I mean, I think, do you think the PNC would be what it is without Tiger and Charlie? Do you think everybody's tuning in to see Bernhard Langer win again for the 11th time? With
I'm
his
not
cheating
wearing
putt?
some hat from TGL that's not Tiger Woods. Let me just tell you.
But I think though it's like all things. Tiger Woods draws eyeballs, and then people find out this is interesting. And
So do we think 3 is going to have a big tailing off? In a couple days or tomorrow?
I don't want there to be, but I do feel like in the wake of a Tiger effect, there's got to be some sort of regression, if you will. But maybe it'll keep building momentum. I don't know. I'll tell you what I do want to see, and what I think will be one of the biggest game changers is a highly competitive match that comes down to the wire or gets somewhat close. Like that's what we want to see. We want to see some Ryder Cup feeling moments where it's like you need your teammate to bail you out. It's kind of coming down to this, the pride for our team and for us, and the hammers being thrown, and it just goes nuts and goes into overtime and all that stuff. I can't wait for that. It's going to happen. It has to.
Also, I feel helps this is like amateurs watching these guys play these courses that are ridiculous with lava and like water everywhere. And it's like watching pros make mistake after mistake because these courses are ridiculous. So it makes the amateur go, oh, this makes me feel better.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe someday the league will get so big they build 1 or 2 of these holes in real life and we get to play around lava.
Oh my God, that'd be fun.
Whatever. Speaking of all their shirts and sponsorships, Ricky Fowler, he has extended his long-term agreement with Puma, Cobra, for apparel and clubs. But I will say he did make a little bit of a change. He is done with his 6-year partnership with TaylorMade for using their ball and their glove.
Well,
yeah.
Where's he going?
He's a free agent right now.
Where do you think he's going to go, Tyler?
He's playing a 2023 Titleist Pro V1 and using a Cobra glove, but he has no agreements in place. So that is still yet to be seen what, who's going to be paying them to be whacking their balls and what glove he'll be wearing to do so.
I'm surprised Cobra doesn't have a ball yet.
I don't know.
They became a huge brand.
It's true. I just don't have any clue what it takes to get into the ball game. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Thank you. Because it's got to be a lot. Like I don't know. Like what new are you bringing to the table? Like TaylorMade, like, okay, we're doing a TP5, totally different, 5 layers, the whole thing. But well, we're just gonna do a 3-piece ball like Srixon, like Bridgestone, like Titleist. Like, do you just join the party and hope your name sells an equivalent ball enough to make some money? Or do you say, no, we have a brilliant idea and we want to get in this game? I don't know what it takes to do that, but I'd probably hit it.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So when these guys sign these big deals with, Taylor or Callaway or whoever they're playing, are they playing the same club that I go and buy?
No. It would appear similar, but it is in fact a different handmade, hand-built, customized club that then gets the badge work and everything for whichever club they're wanting to promote. But even Max Homa was talking about that in his conversations about his new deal with Cobra and how he is now a full Cobra bag guy, Puma clothes. He said the clothes were no brand, or no, I'm sorry, he's not Cobra. He's in the Lululemon.
Yeah.
But he said the equipment's great. He said it just took a little time. He said because there were some tweaks we had to make to the clubs to get them to look right to my eye and a few things that I needed. But once we got it, it all felt great, which I think is a very soft and simple way of saying that he had guys in there grinding and building and making and giving them options and try this. No, that's not right. Take more off here, add more there. I want this to be more offset. I want less of a line at the top for my eye. I want center of gravity moved down, all these things. And then here we're going to walk into like Golf Galaxy and grab a set off those little hangers and unwrap the plastic and think we're playing what Max Homa was playing. And we're ultimately not. I also up into like the drivers and woods and things like that. What's really interesting is they'll have all the say the drivers come from the factory. They will go through there and start tolerance testing them. Because of course there's tolerances. Some might weigh a little more, some might weigh a little less. So these things, they are tolerance testing to find the most perfect version of that club from the factory and setting all of those aside and then weighing them down to the fractions of a gram. And then if you, like on the Cobra Tour truck, you open it up, every single one of them has a little sticker on it of the exact grams of each head in that drawer. And it's interesting because they've all come from the same factory, but yet every number is slightly different on all of them. So on top of them doing all this work to customize clubs for these players, then everything that comes from the factory, they're also making sure that they get the absolute best 0.01% of that equipment that comes out of the factory.
Just going through that process makes me a better golfer because I'm like, man, I got this thing that is only for me. And like me and my friends that want me to succeed, and me succeeding also translates into them making more money and having job security would just make me play better.
There 100% is a confidence that comes with a new, even if it's a single club, just like putting a new 3-wood in the bag that you went, you got fit, it feels great. You tried a few different shafts, you did whatever. And now it's like, man, when I left there, I was hitting this so good. You were so excited to take that club on the golf course. So I couldn't imagine for these guys, it's not just, I went to, whatever the store and hit a few. They're like, no, I have had engineers and club builders perfecting this thing for me. So when I show up at the Zozo World Championship or whatever, it's like you just feel pre-dialed.
When you gave me your clubs to like the 8-iron, the 6-iron to like use as whatever, because mine flew off the head because I played too much golf. No, I played too much golf and they just flew off. But like the weight of those are so bottom heavy, and like my clubs feel like nothing, and like all the weights in the grip, I feel like that's the only just difference that I had to like make. But they're great clubs and I hit them way longer, and you could just feel the pop because my clubs are dying. Like
Faces
literally
are dead.
in hospice in the bag going like, could you just
put us
pull it?
down?
Please help me. And it's not like one, it's like all.
It's like a scene from a war where they're just like, do the humane thing.
Right.
Just do the humane thing.
Grandma's old enough. She's got to go.
So keep going down this road. What does Tiger play?
Tiger is a full tailor-made bag.
Okay. So let's say
Except for the
Tiger for
with a Titleist ball, right?
For
No,
whatever
Bridgestone.
reason, he loses his sponsorship with TaylorMade and he moves to Callaway.
Yeah.
Is Callaway could Callaway take the TaylorMade club and scratch
That's
off
what
the
I
logo
always
and
thought.
stick
That's
on
what
the
I think
Callaway?
happens, honestly.
I think without doing that, they essentially probably do that. They are literally measuring all the tolerances, the weights, the materials and everything, and building him something that is so custom and so specific. What I get curious of when we look at like the Tiger Woods edition irons that TaylorMade put out, are those really for real a replica of what they had made for Tiger? Or is it, hey, what are we going to call this one? Hey, well, we pay him a ton. Let's just throw his name on it and we'll sell a bunch more. That I would really be curious to know. Like, no, I'm hitting like the Tiger Club. If he grabbed it out of my bag, he'd be like, this is fine.
TW logo. Well, actually, there's no such thing as the TW logo. Well, I mean, whatever.
When it existed.
So on those new clubs, is it the Sunday Red logo? Or is it just the Tiger brand with nothing?
Well, no, he's still a TaylorMade sponsored golfer for his clubs.
Understood.
Monster has his bag.
But how do they decipher, like, what do they put on that club that goes? Because every time I bought a Nike club, I've had the Tiger Woods ones with the logo.
I think that's all built into and baked into his club contract. He has an apparel contract, that he's obviously a partner with. He's got a club contract, a ball contract. And so I think, for example, like there are the Bridgestone Tiger Woods edition balls. That to me it's just baked into the contract.
$5 more.
Like we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. We can use you in ads and marketing. You've got to come out for 7 days to film commercials. We're going to sell boxes with your face on it. And we're going to put your name on the ball. I would imagine it's similar to the club thing. It's like, we're going to pay you this much money. You're going to hit these clubs. We'll make sure we build them until you love them. And then we're going to have an entire line with your initials on them. But what I want to know is that line with the initials on them, are they replicas of the ones that Tiger Woods uses? I don't know. How do you find that out? I don't know. I know when I was touching his shoes last week, I could have checked.
Yes,
do they make pro model like sets? Kind of like, how baseball, they have pro model bats?
Yeah, like, well, you get your blades and then you get your really stiff shafts and then, custom to you.
No. I'm saying like when you could go to the store and literally advertise as Cobra Puma or Cobra
Tour Edition.
Tour Edition,
Yes.
Ricky Fowler.
Oh, well, maybe not the name, but like they have Tour Edition things. Because like the Rocket Balls driver, there was a Tour Edition that was like just way better than the regular one. And it looked better. And I had 4 of them, but they all break because the face will implode out and make a crack above it. Every time.
Blown out clubs.
Yeah. And they made like the best noise. But yes, they do. Yes, they do.
As far as the ball goes, I feel like that would be the easiest.
Yeah, there's like Tour balls too.
Scrub no, but I mean, like if you switch from a Callaway ball to a TaylorMade ball or whatever.
Just throw
This
it, be
was
like,
interesting.
Make this.
So John Rahm, before going to LIV Golf, he was a gigantic face for Callaway. And when he was going to Callaway, what he talked about, he said, for me, the most important thing was knowing I could hit that ball. He said this, he goes, I knew they would build me a club that worked. I had to know I could play that ball. And once I tested the ball and the ball matched my game, then I knew everything else would work out.
They could do
which is really interesting to think about. That it wasn't like, here, come hit our clubs. He's like, no, I know you can build me clubs that'll work. That's what you guys do. But the ball, you're not making me a custom John Rahm ball. Like I'm going to be hitting, obviously, probably the nicest, freshest, cleanest ones from the same factory as everybody else. Can I hit that ball? Because it's not going to be, hey, we make John Rahm's ball like a little thicker or something and add like 5 extra dimples.
Well, they like, you could just be like, throw me a ball and make this, but obviously this intellectual property theft and you would get sued if they ever found out. How they would find out, whatever. But I think the process of making golf balls are probably, there's some kind of craziness that like Cobra doesn't want to take on. There's just another building they got to build. Then like,
I want to go to where they make the Pro V ones and see the process. Like I want to see the forms and the molds and the stamps and all. Like I would love to see like raw plastics turn into a Pro V1.
Okay,
I think that'd be so cool.
Talking about the Pro V, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but somebody very credible in golf about the Pro V that taught me everything in golf when I was coming up. If you want to hit the ball longer, you have to put the Pro V logo like this facing where you want it because the ball is made to go longer that way. Now, if you want the soft feel on the green going into a par 3 or something, you have to put the logo vertical like this and hit that part of the ball. Now, he told me that. I believe him. I don't know. Look it up. If anybody says in the comments, if I'm right, cool. But that's what I've heard, and that's how I play it.
I just put my ball in Epsom salt so I could get the balance. So
you just found out what golf was like a year ago, though, so you're all good.
Hey, you know what? And quickly he realized the salty balls was the only way.
Bryson.
But Ricky Fowler, speaking of
all
right, go ahead, and then I got one more thing, but go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say, guess where the Pro V1s are manufactured?
Massachusetts.
China.
There's actually 2 different plants in Massachusetts for it.
Thank you.
There's one in New Bedford and there's one in Fairhaven.
And I want to go to both.
That's kind of crazy that you know that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ricky Fowler was out seen testing a new Cobra mini driver. There is a trend going on right now of club manufacturers making mini drivers. No, Gary, it's not that mini driver that I bought off of TikTok Shop, which I'm excited about. We're going to go hit that today. Rich, have you seen this?
What is that in your hand?
It is a mini driver. And it's, well, this isn't the mini driver I'm talking about. This is a training aid, the one that Gary's holding. And it is a micro driver that is really ultimately it's supposed to help you practice hitting the center of the face. You don't have this gigantic driver face to like smack it off the toe. You're going to miss the whole thing. So this thing is sort of like a training aid, and I want to take it out with Gary and see if we could actually hit this thing and then maybe do like a long drive contest. But the mini driver that a lot of these club companies are working on is sort of a hybrid in between a regular driver and a 3-wood, and it lands somewhere in the middle. And I don't know, maybe it's a 2-wood, a 1-wood.
Amazing driver.
Which one? The Paradigm AI Smoke?
Yeah.
Max Fast?
Yeah, I like that smoke.
But I find it interesting because a lot of club companies are coming out and doing this now. And like, let's see, we've got Titleist has got the GT280 mini driver. PXG has something they're calling the secret weapon. Cobra's doing the Cobra King mini driver. TaylorMade has the Burner mini, and Callaway's doing the Paradigm AI Smoke TI 340 mini driver. I'm sure all the club companies are going to be doing it. I didn't know I didn't know we needed that. Like,
it's to get that in betweeners. Like, it seems like everyone's either piping. There a lot of other people are doing driver off deck. Seems like, so like this is a club that you could do that with.
I feel like freezer tarps brought a revolution to Zins, and the DoD King brought the driver off the deck. You know, and I feel like these two guys in the internet world have made big waves. So I would be really curious to know the DoD King, how much effect he's had on
I thought
this
I liked
culture.
I liked his cocky. You know, it's like a skit. You know,
Yeah, it's a character.
The guy's a very nice guy because our buddy Jake talked to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought he was fun.
Says here, the smaller club heads between 280 and 340 cc provide added control and confidence off the tee. Versatile for tight fairways, windy conditions, or players who struggle with driver club heads. I don't know why you struggle with that. Combines driver-like distance with accuracy of a 3-wood.
I feel like it's a huge placebo effect too. That just is like this new mini driver. I have to try it. I hit it once. I hit it good. Great. Let's keep going.
Here's the thing. I've never swung one, so I've never held one in my hand. I want to. I'm like curious to see what it's all about. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, then what are you taking out of your bag? I'm like, I don't want to get rid of my 3-wood. I love my 3-wood.
I could put like 6 more clubs probably in my bag.
Oh my God, dude. I got 6 mini drivers.
Before we get away from the mini driver, Josh, how far do you think I'm going to hit it with this thing? How far do you think Dan's going to hit it? And who's going to win?
I think, well, you out-hit Dan.
No.
Not lately?
Thank you, Gary.
Bro. What? When did it start? Like,
Dan's sitting there looking so proud.
Dude, when he got his dark speed set from Cobra, yeah, like all of a sudden, Dan's like next to me. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then he's hitting his 3-wood further, and then I'm hitting I'm like, dude, it's like a 7-iron. It's like 85%. And then he hits I'm like, what'd you hit? He's like, 9-iron. I'm like, you flew the green, you psycho. And I'm like, what happened? And then I hit his clubs. I was like, but he's progressively also getting better. Because like
there was a long drive contest at the end of the night. Yeah, and I hit 300 yards.
And I did what? 290 something.
Yeah, got you by a couple. You know, it could have been like a rock in the
now
simulator that my ball.
The back tee's like
Yeah, as soon as
your handicap's there now.
As soon as I'm scratch, I'll move back.
Get that out. Anyways, answer.
I guess I gotta go with Dan now.
No, okay. Well, guess our distance though.
But I think with that,
is this going to be impossible for us, or is this going to be just like whatever? It's just another.
I feel like it's going to take you guys a couple hits to actually really get it dialed up. But I don't think you guys are going to go free swinging.
275 is going to be my.
Here's what we do. We do, I don't know, 5 balls each, maybe 10, but we log all of them. So first we see who can like connect with it first. Like, did you connect on your first ball, or did that, you top it to 80 yards? And we go all the way to 10 balls. And within that, we'll see who adapted the quickest and then who ended up utilizing it the greatest and hitting it the farthest.
With the 5 hits, we're going to add them all together.
I wasn't necessarily thinking that, but I guess we could do that as well. Sure. Okay. We'll add them all together as well.
I think 275 is going to be a really good hit with this.
I think I didn't expect it to go that far, but all right.
It can. I've seen.
I think you do 7 hits. You throw out the 2 shortest.
Okay.
The longest and the shortest.
But we do analyze them in the series to see like who adapted the quickest to this weird drive.
Who's not also just like sculling at 220 yards to the right? You know, are we actually continuously hitting shots?
It is going to take a couple for both you guys
Highly
to get that
doubt
thing.
that.
Gary's pre-adapted. Look, it's the only club in his bag. He's dialed with this thing.
It makes me just think about going to the washroom. No, just kidding.
Just like most of my clubs, it's already in Gary's bag. All right.
Do you think they can make? Do you think they can make a driver that's just like twice as big? Like for me,
they can't. There is a conforming, USGA conforming regulation, and I think is it 400 cc's is the max?
No, that goes up to
I
like
thought it was
460.
450.
Is it 450? I don't remember.
460s before I thought.
Either way, but
Whatever.
you can't have like 900. There is a maximum that it could weigh more. They could like pack some lead in
It'll
there.
be fun. Let's make like 1,000 cc's drivers and just like have like a tour that like everybody shoots like 55 because they're driving at 500 yards and stuff. And like
There's a video Bryson hit like a 10-foot long driver. He was
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Bryson could play golf with anything.
With
I feel like the
anything.
tin cup, the shovel that
Well, speaking of new equipment, you guys know what's going on this week, right?
Yes.
The PGA show.
Oh,
You're going there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I fly out wicked early tomorrow morning. Haven't asked Gary for a ride yet, but I still might because I don't have one.
I got you.
It's early.
Midway or O'Hare?
O'Hare. The worst one. I know.
I got to make up for my last sleep over here, so sure.
That's for Dan's Golf World Show after dark. We'll tell the rest of that story.
on our OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
PGA show. So here's what I think. I think I need to go to the PGA show and get the lowdown on the mini drivers. Like, where else should you do it? Like, that's this place to do it, right?
Mhm.
I mean, and listen, guys, I'm going to tell you, I've been to a lot of trade shows, a lot of conferences, a lot of conventions. It is mind-blowing to even try and comprehend the amount of golf brands, golf companies, golf accessory companies, golf maintenance companies. Like, there's companies that'll be there selling the trash bins over by the ball washer. That's like their whole business. Like, you figure, like, oh my God, like, what goes into golf? And it is all there, all under one single roof, except for one major club company that refuses to show up. One of the top players, who do you guys think chooses to not participate in the PGA show?
Callaway.
Gary?
I'll say Callaway. No. Yeah, okay.
Richard, do you have a guess?
to be different, I'm going TaylorMade.
Rich is correct.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
TaylorMade has determined that whatever it costs for them to buy a quarter of the floor space like Callaway does and Titleist and all these other guys, they're like, we're just going to spend that money and give it to like players and do other marketing. We're just not going to do this. TaylorMade doesn't show up. They don't GAF.
That's kind of like Tiger just being Tiger. Like, you can't make me in any commercial. Like,
Yeah.
have you I remember the first time Tiger actually was in a commercial with anybody else but himself was like when he came back from whatever. What was that first reason he was gone? His surgery. But anyways, and everybody was like winning and champagne, and then he comes in the locker room, they're like, "Oh, hey, Tiger," and they're like,
Fun's over.
"Fun's done. We're playing for second again."
I will say I'm really, really excited about this year's PGA show.
Good.
I'm hoping that, last year I haggled a few deals, brought home some new gear. I'm hoping by next week's show, I'm going to have some new gadgets to show you guys because I'm going to nerd out hard when I get
Finagle
there.
bet.
like a 60-degree Cleveland from somebody.
A 60-degree Cleveland.
Oh, but wait,
Or Vokey.
you won't be here.
That's usually what happens.
I think we leave later in the week. We will be here.
Oh,
I think
okay.
so. I think
Okay.
it's the following week. I don't know. I got travel coming up. I got a vacation. Like, I'm not even supposed to fly out till like that Thursday. So like, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
Yeah, but I think the following week I'll be gone. I don't know. We got a lot going.
Wednesday the 5th, I think, is when we're doing the pod, right? The remote pod.
I think so. You know what? Let's table this discussion for not on the air.
Post show.
And we'll get it dialed in. Because I really have no clue.
But I'm excited about it because the night before we're going to TGL and I'm getting to see TGL live. Like,
Mother Harbor.
I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Mother.
It did
Harbor.
occur to me though that I have been and will continue. I'm making trips to Florida every week for like 4 weeks straight.
That's kind of fun.
Just like down and back and down and back and down and back. A lot of miles on Spirit Airlines or whatever.
Wait, no way.
Dude, how are you like not sick with the different like climate changes?
I don't do that. I choose not to do that. Listen, I'm going to go outside and get in my car and it's going to be cold. I'm not going to get sick. And then I'm going to go to indoor golf and it's going to be super hot and I'm going to be sweating the whole time. I'm not going to get sick.
Well, no, I'm talking about atmosphere stuff. Cause I know like if like we go to like Vegas right now and like we're there for a couple days, you know,
I'm fine.
We start getting like chapped lips, like nose starts drying out.
I don't sign up for any of that.
The airplane ride makes me feel like clogged up for like an hour.
Rich, what is the secret for guys like you and I being so good at travel? Is it because we've done it so much or is it more of like a mindset?
I love to trail.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, like you just go and you just like wake up and you do your thing. Like it doesn't matter.
I'm just
wait,
in
am I
this
putting
bad.
shorts on? Am I putting jeans on? Putting on long shirts? Am I putting a hoodie? Am I doing a tank top?
Well,
you gotta go shorts, comfortable hoodie, and comfortable t-shirt underneath that you take off the hoodie if you're too hot, because I am going to be super comfortable and wherever I'm going is going to be warm when I get there. So I'm just going to be already set.
So
you're not going to Alaska?
They said it's supposed to be colder here this week than Alaska.
Honestly,
isn't that brutal?
I would like to go to Alaska if they do
you're leaving.
Yeah,
the 24-hour, or they have like light for how many months, 3 or whatever. I don't know, but like I want to go there and play golf for 24 hours and see how many holes we could play.
So this is what Dan did to me. You know, he leaves last week to go to TGL.
Yeah,
snows like 6 inches.
I did that to him
the day he left.
And you had to drive him?
See, hear this,
No,
Rich?
no,
I did this
here.
to him, but
you
go on.
The snow happened.
And then now this week he's leaving, and now
Polar vortex.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
Wait till you see what I make it do next week.
Oh no.
Now,
I hope there's like 6 feet of snow when we're down in Florida the first week of February.
Josh, you found something on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
That borderline made me puke. Will this be at the PGA show? And can you kind of set us up and let us know what we're looking at here and why it's so offensive to the eyeballs?
I don't think that this is going to be at the PGA show, but it could, because
thank God.
Everyone likes a nice hat, you know?
Yeah, everybody likes a nice hat.
Likes a nice hat, but
nice ones.
When you have a company like Sports Clips get involved.
Who is Sports Clips?
It's
like the haircut?
Haircut place,
okay, yeah.
They came up with this.
It's a see-through hat, and it makes me want to vomit.
Lids. Everyone knows Lids as the hat stores in the mall.
That's a stellar
then,
mustache, though.
Then you have Sports Clips, which they did this for National Hat Day, by the way, too. So, like, it comes in a package like that.
It is so offensive to me.
I wear a hat to block some of my hair.
Thank you. Like, listen, if I woke up and like showered and my hair was all great, you're going to see it. I'm not going to waste it. But for the next 5 days until I shower again, I'm going hat on. And I don't want anyone to see what's underneath of it.
This has got to be fake.
God.
I can just smell the plastic on that hat through the screen.
Exactly.
I bet it smells like an old plastic blow-up pool toy. And for your hair, can you imagine having a bad hair day? Hence why we wear hats, and that's the only thing you can put on. Not even to mention, if it's a hot day outside, it's going to get all steamy, and I bet you can burn your hair and scalp with it as well. Sports Clips must be giving out really bad haircuts to be producing a hat. Counterintuitive, am I right?
I didn't even think about that part, but Gizmo, thank you for bringing that up. Like, it's going to get hot in there. You're going to see like moisture, like condensation on the inside of the hat, which is even grosser. Like some drips. And then like the hair that's like wet from sweat, like sticking to the side.
I want a whole one, though.
Ah, dude.
Like usually when that happens, like with pool toys, don't they like colorize too? Like a pool tube?
I can't handle
I
this.
just know that
so
if
offensive.
you're bald and have tattoos, maybe it might look cool on your head if you have tattoo heads, but who's really playing golf with tattoos on their head that bald?
I don't know.
Yeah, but like look at the picture before, like the first one. Like that don't look good.
No, like the point of the hat is so whatever's going on with the hair, you just throw it on. Rich, right now.
Dude, I thought you had it on backwards.
Is there chaos under that hat, or do you have did you wake up and put hairspray in first?
It's like, of course, it's chaos. That's why you wear it.
That's why you wear it.
That hat right there, that looks exactly. It looks to me like it's off of Back to the Future 2 when he goes to the future. Like,
yeah, With
like
the Nikes
like when they're
that
wearing
tie
the
themselves.
2 neckties and
You
like
look
the
like my
15
friend, Jay.
TVs on the wall. and, like,
Josh is showing us what's under his hat, and you know what? I'm actually surprised. You have, it looks similar
looks good.
to a not hat day.
He looks like Jackson Rita from Cog Hill, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does. But anyways,
that's
moving
another person no one knows.
Shut
Awesome.
up. Do you do that? Because I do that.
Do I do what?
So like I take a shower, I dry it, and then I'll brush this up, and then I put
You get the
all-
lettuce flowing.
and then I comb it all forward, and then move to the side. Then I hairspray, and then I with my hands, and then I put the hat on. So when I take my hat off, it looks halfway decent, and it doesn't move, and you could fit more hair under there when it's puffy.
No, I don't do that.
No, do you know what I do?
No.
No.
I comb it,
I'm not saying it's a bad move. I'm just saying I don't do that. No.
get out of the
And I
shower,
wasn't offended.
dry
Thank you.
it. I have to use 2 towels.
Your mom hates you.
Well, I just use a towel I used the day
Your mom
before,
hates you.
so it's not like I'm double dipping. I use a towel I used the day before, but dry it off. I comb it back, and then I kind of just let it sit there. And then when I'm getting dressed, before I put on a shirt, because that's one thing I can't stand, especially with my long hair, is that my hair is wet on the back and it gets
that makes
all over
sense.
my shirt.
It's a nice golf shirt, by the way.
Thanks. And then I grab a towel, a dry one that's already,
That sounds like 6-year-old only child Gary who would put a towel down on the ground because I wouldn't want to get any hair on my feet because that's disgusting. I'd wipe my feet, and then I use a completely dry towel to clean myself off, and then shake out the other towel, and then just put it back on the rack.
Dead serious question. As adults who, most probably are kind of responsible for your own laundry, I would guess or assume, how many showers does a towel last?
I do like 4 or 5.
You're a 1 shower, 1 clean,
Dude,
1 towel. That's insanity.
Dude, there is nothing
His
worse.
mom does his laundry.
Your carbon emissions.
Can I explain?
Sure. No, I got to hear that.
Ever since I was little, I've had a pet peeve with like drying off with a wet towel.
No, but it's not
But
wet.
it's not
like
wet
you
anymore.
used it yesterday.
You just gotta flick it out and make sure it's.
No, this is what gets worse. Growing up, like my whole family, we just throw a towel back on the rack, and everyone else would use the same towel. And I'm like, as like an 8-year-old, I'm like, that's not. I'm like, I don't.
So this is a trauma response.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the evolution of like me is like reading about David Goggins and like watching people and like trying to like be comfortable being uncomfortable because there's freedom and discipline and stuff. So like using another towel over and over and over again was like, a shout out to that. Like somebody doesn't have that ability, so I'm privileged to do that. So I should like scale it back.
All right, Rich, why don't you give us the human logical answer here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Get your gun out.
All right. Well, after my shower, I'm not using your towel. That's the first thing.
Thank you.
But no, it's just
We're not
shower,
camping.
take my towel and lay it out so it dries. And
Especially
I
after
use
seeing
the
him with the
next day,
Cheetos.
like, and then eventually I'm like, okay, hey, we're doing laundry today. Hey, I haven't washed that towel in a while, so hey, let's throw it in the laundry because we're doing laundry today. Like, it's not like I can use it for 3 days or 5 days. No, it's just like whatever.
All right, here's a question. You're in the restroom, you're using a urinal, and you stand there and you unzip and you present yourself to the urinal and use it. And
Pull your pants down
What a way to
to your knees.
then you're done, and then you zip up, and then you're supposed to then go wash your hands.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about is, my hands have been touching everything. Airport, you name it, the escalator, the handrail, whatever, all this stuff, touching money. My privates have touched nothing. And
Probably the cleanest part of
no
your
one has
body.
touched them either. So what is this instant need to hurry up and like, are you whizzing on your hands? Like,
Well, maybe it's the
why?
handle, but if you don't touch the handle and you do it with your foot
Automatic.
or something.
So
Yeah,
if it's an automatic flush bathroom, and like what got the hands so dirty? I'm just curious.
Well, it's funny,
It's
like-
customary.
sometimes when you don't wash your hands and people are like, you didn't wash your hands. I always do that, like whatever from this show I watched. The guy's like, I keep an extremely clean penis. And then they're
Oh
like,
my God.
I was like, they're like, that's disgusting. I'm like, shut up. Don't ask me.
Well, because here's the thing. I
You
feel
gotta
like
you gotta pre-wash and then post-wash.
in the process of washing your hands, you now start touching so much more stuff that now I need to wash my hands because I touched everything to wash my hands.
But if
Like,
I do
don't know.
wash my hands, I'm turning off the knob with like, what do you call it? The towel and throwing the towel out. Wow.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Are you guys public restroom?
We got off the tracks really hard.
Are you guys public restroom poopers with all the toilet paper on the seat?
No.
Okay, first of all, public restrooms pooping is among my nightmares.
Really?
Especially if somebody next to me is doing it too.
Oh, that's horrible.
And I can see their hairy legs and they're doing like a super wide spread and they're like whitey tighties are stretched because their legs are so far apart. You think about the snap that band and it's going to come flying under your side. And then if I can hear them doing it, like hearing water splashing or their grunt, like don't.
Now, are you embarrassed
Does it
if
give
you
you
make noise?
stage fright?
Because I get embarrassed if I make noise.
I can't do, like I can't even be in here. Like I don't like I am in my nightmare zone. To me, this is just everything I hate. I'm like, I can see your gross legs, I can smell your shit, and like and you're grunting
Plus,
and making noises.
Going
Like I
bathroom
gotta
to
get out of
Dan
here.
is like
I gotta get out of here.
like an isolated.
So I'm gonna tell you exactly what I do.
What's funny is Dan, like when we used to travel all the time,
yeah.
like especially like in Atlanta, because we flew Delta all the time. So
Yeah.
like we were in
worst
and out of
airport
Atlanta.
ever.
Dan knew where every
Bingo.
single family bathroom was
Yes.
in every terminal everywhere.
Yeah.
And he'd
Even
be
on
just
the
like, "Oh, I
different
gotta go. There's
sides.
a family bathroom right over here."
Yeah, right. Like, oh,
think
you
I'm
could just
like,
head
how did you find
between
that? It's like
C17 and
down some
C19,
hallway
you got a
around the
nice one.
corner.
There's like a whole like thing in there. You could put your bag and it's nice. Yeah. No, if not, like you either have to, like in an airport, you could find those, or you look for like a Starbucks. You know, you're getting a nice solo one. A lot of times, like a good Jimmy John's, Chipotle. You know what I mean? They don't have the row. You get to go in there, lock the door, and then take a breather of air that is not currently being shit in by someone else. Like, I can't do it. I cannot do it.
I just do a quick wipe. Sometimes like you don't even
Oh,
have time to do a
It's
quick
my
wipe.
trauma.
Like at like indoor golf, 85% of the time, right before we tee off, I'm like, great, now I have to go do that.
Oh, you couldn't pay me. Good. I'd be like, yeah.
It's a private
Here-
bathroom.
Here's,
Huh?
Wait.
I mean, but I mean, no, there's 2 urinals and then 1 stall. But like,
Oh,
I will
people are marching in and out of there.
physically
and
will
talking.
not be able to play golf. And I'm an old man now. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, what's worse, grunting pooping or grunting while you're peeing?
I like to do the thing where you're like, and then he's like, who does number 2 work for?
Oh
You
my
show that
God.
turd boss, buddy.
So,
Austin
Gary,
Powers.
did you just say that sometimes you don't have time for a quick wipe?
No. It's an emergency. We're lucky we got that toilet seat
You don't
down.
wipe
So
your
you're just
ass?
like running around the
No.
golf
I'm
course
talking
with
about
shit in
no.
your asshole still?
He asked the question: do you put toilet paper around the rim?
Oh, I thought you were saying you don't have time to wipe.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm glad somebody asked that. 'Cause holy shit,
Okay.
I didn't need no.
Literally.
I was so excited
I
for you to
used to-
elaborate on
I
this.
used to carry like dude wipes with me so you could wipe
Hey,
perfectly.
dude wipes are so underrated.
If you're not using baby wipes or dude wipes after a shit in your own house, especially because you
Here's the thing, though.
you're not wiping right.
When
Then
you live
then
on
you
a
got a whole
septic.
trash can full of
Don't
dude wipes.
care.
No, he's flushing them. Are you flushing? Oh, you trash
No.
canning them?
Trash canning them.
You've got used.
No,
poop
I just
toilet
instantly
paper in the
have
can?
the tiniest little thing, and you just fill it up and it closes so you don't smell it. And the scent bags are scented, and you're fine.
Now, like when you get to a hotel,
I'm not
you can
hanging out in my
flush
bathroom.
anything. I flush the sheets if they're not clean. Like I don't care. It's a hotel.
We're
I'm
not
done.
an asshole.
Yeah. Ah, wow. All right, guys.
Irrational
I don't
fear.
know.
Speaking of flushes and toilets,
What?
getting stuck
We have
in
been on this long.
an
too long.
airport toilet.
Yeah,
Getting
how are
stuck?
you on like?
Irrational fear. I know it's like not possible, but like,
Like when it does the suction thing and you're
yeah.
like, creates like a vacuum around your.
uh-huh.
Wow. No, I didn't. No,
I'm not asking
Uh,
my question because we got to move on from this.
oh,
Nonsense.
we do. I don't know.
Shoot the gun one more time.
I feel like we all really learned a lot about each other there.
Yeah.
And it was important.
I'm just glad you guys didn't think that I just walked around with it.
When I traveled,
Oh, I thought that for a while. I
Jesus
did. Like when
Christ.
you explained the story, like sometimes I don't even got time for a quick wipe. Wait,
true
what?
story. When I was traveling a ton, like full time back in the day, I would keep a traveler pouch of Clorox wipes
Yeah.
and a traveler pouch of flushable wipes. and I would do the toilet seat in the Clorox wipe first.
Just like you
So
put.
instead of doing like the layers
that's
of all the
smart.
toilet paper and all
Yeah,
that,
that's actually really
I
smart.
would Clorox wipe it, but then I don't want to be on like a slippery one.
So you got to wipe
So
it
then
with
I
the
would
toilet paper.
fresh
Yeah.
dry it and do that little gap in between and like all the and and then if there's like stuff on the floor, oh my god!
I like just being
take me
prepared
home.
like that.
Terrible. But they do say one of the greatest injuries in public restrooms. Do you guys know what like the number one injury?
Slipping and then hitting your head on the toilet.
Slipping, yes. No. It's called the guillotine. And it's when you're sitting down and you're going, and of course, male genitalia can hang, and then the seat slides and comes off, and there becomes like a removal service.
Oh no!
Wait, are you telling me that's
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
that is a real thing.
You gotta be really trying to get that thing off though.
Well, yeah, you're getting a little too aggressive. Maybe your feet slipped when you were getting leverage, and the whole thing goes to the side. But yeah, it's like a guillotine type thing, and it's a real problem. So every time I sit down on a seat and I feel it shift a little, I'm like, no.
This is either going to be one of the best
no.
segments or
Was
the
this
worst.
Final Destination?
Yeah, oh my god. All right. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about anything else. I feel like we've climaxed in the best way possible. Gary, don't point out what that word means.
Farmers Insurance Open next week, though.
Yeah, they're playing at Torrey Pines. It'll be fun. I do think this is interesting that the course rotation, the first 2 rounds will be played across both the North and South course, with the final 2 rounds on the South course. So prior to the cut, you play both courses, but then after the cut, we're just staying on the South course. North course doesn't get a lot of love. They only get one little quick visit. It's fine. Who cares? Maybe Matthew Pavon will come back and try and win it again. Either way, who cares? I know Xander Schauffele's out. He's not playing. He just announced he doesn't care. He doesn't need insurance. He's done. Yes,
So how does
Rich.
that work as far as the 2 courses? Is it like half the field on Friday is playing North, half field on Thursday is playing the other half, and then they switch? Or
You know what?
like,
I didn't look into those details, or if it was like Thursday round is North, Friday round is South, and then so on. To be quite honest, I don't know. But they're going to be down there in San Diego, which isn't super far
are they
from
like split?
La Quinta.
I would imagine maybe they're splitting the field and they're doing half the field is North Thursday, and then they do South Friday, and then flip it around. The other half's doing Friday and back and forth.
I don't know. But there's enough guys to fit on one course. Why would you split them? But again, I literally don't know.
But I mean, well, because it's before the cut. Like, I don't know. Do they have the cut so big that they need the 2 courses?
But they play it an equal amount of time, so that's what's fair.
That's what's fair.
Move.
You know what? Golf is fair.
Golf is not fair, but
Golf. Who said life's fair?
But I mean, golf can be unfair to you, but as a sport overall, it is fair with the handicap system and all that, right?
Golf is inherently unfair because if I go and hit, out of the. If I make a divot in the fairway and then you come and your ball lands in the fairway,
that is the number one biggest rule that should change. 100%.
I like William Mao said in that interview. He said he had such a positive attitude, and they were asking him about his blow up hole, and he was like, "Listen, you know what? Sometimes you get good breaks on bad shots, and sometimes you get bad breaks on good shots. That's just golf." I was like, "Yeah, but what about 14 of them in a row? Like, does that still count?"
You know when they do the final boss thing where it's like, they should show him doing that and then go to Kevin now with his 16 and be like, the final boss.
All right, guys. Well, that is it for this week of the DansGolfWorld Show. We'll see you next